Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. I wasn't quite sure what card I was going to make. All I knew was I wanted to use this, and this is an embellishment that I used on one of my Irresistibly Yours cards that I was demonstrating at the Make It show in Farnborough 2 weekends ago, but I really wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. And then today I received a really beautiful thank you card from a friend of mine, and he had used the Flower Shop and the Pansy Punch, and I just loved it. I thought, that's it, that's what I'm going to do. The colours that Mark has used are fabulous. They are just so vibrant. So thank you, Mark, thanks for the inspiration, and this is what I've come up with. There are quite a lot of pieces cardstock that you need. So we'll start off with the actual card base. This one's baked sugar, although I'm going to be using Coastal Cabanna. So the cardstock measures 6 1/4 across here by 5 7/8, and you need to score it at the 2-inch mark. Fold it over like that. You will also need, pick all these pieces up, a piece of Whisper White that measures 5 3/4 by 1 7/8, some DSP which measures 5 5/8 by 1 3/4. That's going to layer on there. And then you need a piece of Whisper White that measures 5 3/4 by 4 1/8, and another piece of DSP that measures 5 5/8 by 4 inches, which is going to layer onto that one. Then you will need scraps of the baked brown sugar for the band and for the flowers and for the backing here, and you'll also need a little bit of Whisper White for the sentiment. So as I say, what you need to do is you put those two layers together and adhere that on the front there. Then you layer those two pieces together and adhere it on there. As I say, I'm doing Coastal Cabanna and I've already put my pieces together. I've forgotten another piece of Whisper White you need, and that's for that panel there, which measures 5 1/2 inches by 1 5/8. So that's just all the layering done. Now for the flowers, what I've done, I just took straightforward cardstock and I punched out with the Pansy Punch. So first of all I punched out 5 of these, and then I punched out 5 of these with the is that Petite Petals Punch? I'll make sure the correct names are on the screen for you. So you need 5 of those as well. What I did with these, so I've cut these out earlier, I took a pencil and I just curled that very gently to give a bit of body, and then likewise on this one as well, the little ones. And what I did for the edges, I used our Whisper White ink and a Dauber, and I just went over the edges. I liked the black one because when I saw it on the card that I had done for the show, I thought it looked very much like velvet, which is why I decided I wanted to use that in making a card. I have already done the other 4 so that you don't have to sit there watching me do lots of that. Now what else I've done to my flowers, before I started putting them together, I took my Coastal Cabanna marker pen and with the writing tip I just did 3 lines on each of the petals. Whoops, it's a lovely one, I spun it round. And then I did the same on the little one. And I did my usual thing of using my paper piercer, and with the little flower I just use the soft end, don't use the other end, whatever you do, and just press it down like that, so that makes the flower pop nicely. And then I use my Tombow glue to make that stick on top of the big flower. And again I use the soft end of my paper piercer. And when I do this, I do tend to make the points of the little flower, these here, go to the gap in between the big petals. It's your choice, whatever you do. And then on top of that, I use put one of the larger pearls That was my elbow just cracked then. And then just pinch it all back up again. And then because you've curled the petals already, it's quite easy just to get these up like this. I think I knocked that off. Anyway, these are the other ones that I've done, and I'm going to show you a close-up so that you can see the lines that I've actually drawn on there. Very simple, but it makes so much difference to the flower. Okay, so I've got those, and the next thing I'm going to do, this coaster, the baked brown sugar one, I'll get that made and photographed, and hopefully I'll get it on my blog on the same time when I publish this video. Okay, so we've done that bit. To get these adhered to my card front, I use dimensionals, which seem to have gone right by the side of me. No, they haven't gone walkabouts, they're here. So turn these over, and I'm going to put on 3 of them, I'm going to put a glued dimensional just there with a straight piece facing down like that, straight line there. Do that on 3 of them. You'll see why in a jiffy. And the other 2, put a dimensional just in the middle. As you will see with this card, I've offset the flowers. So what I do, I take the 3 where I've got the straight line on them, and then with my card, which way around? This goes this way, that's right. So I can make sure that as I put my card down, my dimensional is not going to be exposed, and I can also make sure that that doesn't come over the top. Or if it does come over the top, it doesn't come over very much. And then the second one I'm going to put on the bottom. So that's going to be like that. Again, not coming over the top and not exposing the dimensional. And then the third one, approximately halfway between those 2. Okay, so I've got good positioning there with these. And now these 2, I would just bring in between, and I'd try and cover up the DSP, but not necessarily the white bit. And once I get that sort of angle, I'm happy. I feel that it's random without being wildly off. Okay, but that one could do with going over a bit. Can I get that off without? Yes, I can. Just move it over a little bit. Okay, so I have, you can't see any of the DSP from here. You might be able to see the white bit, but otherwise that's all nicely covered. And now you can pull up your petals and everything if you'd like. Okay, so far so good. The next bit I'm going to do is this strip, and I did that. I think this is called the ribbon something punch. Again, I'll have the correct name on the screen. So what I do, it doesn't really matter where I start off for the first one, but the second one, as I come through, see how far I can come through. Can you see what I'm doing here? Yeah. As I come through, see this straight line, I make sure that that set of holes goes back in, and then one more, then I line it up, and I know that I'm not going to miss any gaps. Right, okay, that's good. So I see the straight bit again, push the first one in, and then line up this one here. That's good. Oh, nearly there now. Okay. And just find out how much I need on here. In fact, what I will do is I'm going to cut that little piece off there so that it starts off at a complete curve. Take that up to the green part. And I think I might just about do this. Let's have a look. No, that's just a little bit short. Does it matter? Let's see. I don't think that's going to hardly notice, is it? I'm not going to worry about that. So the way I put this on, there is a right side and a wrong side. If you look at the way the holes have been punched, one side looks a lot nicer, and the side that I call it a smooth side, the other side, if you run your finger down, it feels quite bumpy, and that's the side that is the wrong side you want to put the glue on. Just run a thin line down the centre, that's all it needs. Oops, trust me. Never mind. And we'll put this down. Try and make sure it's even. That looks straight. I think so. Okay, so the next part is to do the sentiment, and I have used this stamp, which is from the Amazing Birthday set, which is this one here. This one, I really like this because it says make today ridiculously amazing, and I used that on some calendars I made, so that appeared every day, 365 days a year, which I thought was pretty good. Okay, so the way that I did this, as you can see, I've got Happy in the Calypso Coral and then You in the black. So what I did was, with my Calypso Coral ink, did I get that out? No, I'm talking Coastal Cabana here, aren't I? Yeah, that was Calypso Coral. So what I'm going to do, I will take a little piece of sellotape and I am just going to cover up You. Just leave myself a little handle there so I can take that off. That's my cardstock, my ink. I will just ink that. Okay, that looks good. Let's remove that. Let's put that on there. And then for the U, I used my black marker pen and I just colour over the U. That's it. And chances are that's beginning to dry off before I've stamped it. So I'm going to give it a little huff. So excuse me a moment while I huff on my stamp. There we go. And then I'm going to punch that out with my Fancy Label Punch. And then, as you can see, what I've done underneath here, I've got an edging. And the way I do that is, I tend to be very economical doing this bit. And just a scrap piece of paper to make the most of it. First of all, I'm going to put that piece in there and I'm going to punch this. You only want to go all the way down all the time the curve is going inwards. You don't want the curve to start coming out. So you need 2 of those. That's 1. That's 2. And then you need to do the same down the long side. Again, all the time the curve is coming inwards, you're fine. You don't want to start going out again. Okay, so that's 1. And chances are, yes, I can move up again. Okay. So it's a wonderful use for your scrap pieces. What I do tend to do is just cut off any little bits like that. Otherwise, I'm quite happy with that. And the way I'm going to put this on is I'm going to use my snail. I'll do the 2 long pieces first. Just put some snail down either side. And then line that up on there. That's one side. Retrieve that one. Put that side on. And then some more snail. Top and bottom. Take these. and then line that one up. I mean, if anybody chooses to look really closely at it, they can see what you've done, but I think it's really effective and I think it's good. And then 4 dimensionals on the back. And then pop that on the side. I think that's straight. Doesn't help the fact that some of these little happy words are at an angle. Okay. Oh, I forgot my ribbon. Never mind, I can do that. But there we go. There's my card. That's in Coastal Cabana. That's in Calypso Coral. And one other one that I did earlier. My first one was in Red and Black. I think that's an absolutely delightful card, a lot to it, but quite a quick card. Hope you like it as well, and I hope you decide to give it a try. Many thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please contact me. I will be more than happy to help you. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. It's either on the top right hand side or underneath the screen, I believe. And if you'd like to purchase any of these Stampin' Up products, please visit my website at www.janbcards.com. I'm in the process of upgrading this so that the buttons will be like Shop Now, hopefully within the next day or two. So it's no logging onto this one and then onto that one if you want to shop all in one go. Lovely. So many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.